Guys, thank you so much for joining the Southern Cheers podcast again. I have a good friend of mine, Andrew. Your last name's not Loves, is it?
No, it's Colacchio.
Andrew Loves.
Everyone thinks it's Loves, but no.
I met Andrew. I met you here.
Yeah.
But the way that I found you was I was just scrolling through Instagram one night, and I saw a review that you did of some restaurant, and it was an honest review. And I was like, I had not seen an honest review in a long time. I think you actually said what was bad about the food as well.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that. And I reached out to my marketing guy, and he reached out to you.
Yep.
And that was what, 6 months ago or something? Or a year? I don't know.
I think it was closer to a year ago now.
Long time ago.
It was just after my birthday, so like January. So I guess 8 months.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we've done some marketing things together, but really the reason I wanted to have you on today was kind of learn, and you don't disclose something you don't disclose yet. But you're working on fun things right now.
Yep.
You've worked on fun things in the past.
Yep.
I read your bio and it said ex-chef.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start from the beginning. You have a pretty solid Instagram following.
Yep.
TikTok following as well.
Yep. Solid 15K.
Awesome.
Just over.
A fair amount of people following you. And I think people that follow you because they actually like your content, not because they're going to get a reward for it, other than just they want to see good content.
Right.
So can you tell me about your social history and chef history, and who is Andrew?
Yeah. We'll just start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Grew up, loved cooking. My mom taught me how to cook. My grandmother taught me how to bake. And
Grew up here?
no, I grew up in Boston.
Oh, okay.
So I've lived all over Boston, DC, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Paris, LA, traveling nomad.
By yourself or with people?
A mixture. So family was Boston and New Hampshire. I went to boarding school in Rhode Island, college in DC, and worked in DC. Worked as a chef in Paris, moved to LA, and then moved to Charlotte.
Wow.
So really all over, but just follow opportunity.
What took you to LA?
Work.
Okay.
So my day job, I run the e-commerce division of a home furnishings company. And so I was working out there for, I call it the largest company you've never heard of, Li & Fung. They're a Hong Kong headquartered company. They manufacture everything from clothing to furniture to, they designed the perfume bottle that's the rose cap for Marc Jacobs. I like to say everyone has something from Li & Fung in their house, regardless if they know it or not.
Whoa. Is that the same company you work for now?
No, so I work for...
That's what took you from Paris to LA.
Yes. And then from LA to Charlotte is a different company that I moved to.
Cool.
I know. And
what's your major?
International business and marketing.
Oh, so you knew you wanted to do that?
No, had no idea. So I thought I wanted to be a chef. And growing up, that was always my plan. And my parents said, absolutely not. If you want to be a chef, you can be a chef, but you're going to go get a business degree. And so that's what I did. And I'm very thankful that they made me do that.
Yeah, seriously.
Love cooking, but when I worked in the industry, it's very different when you're cooking for someone else versus because you want to cook. So I was working in DC for a restaurant group. I won't say which, but I was on their research and development team, and we were opening an American restaurant, and the direction we were given from the owner of the group was create the best hot dog you can. And so we created this wild hot dog that was Iberico and Wagyu with shaved black truffles on it. It was insane. And it was going to retail for, I think, $26. So super expensive for a hot dog. But the direction was create the best hot dog you can.
Ooh.
And then they tried it and they were blown away. And they're like, oh my God, this is incredible. How much would it retail for? And we're like, it would have to retail for $26. And they're like, no, we need to cut that in half. And so we ended up creating a different hot dog, no Wagyu, no Iberico. The black truffle was in the ketchup instead of shaved on top. But I like to, when I'm cooking, produce the best product possible rather than cooking for a certain budget, which in a restaurant, you can't really do that. It has to be practical so people can come in unless you're a fine dining Michelin star tasting menu. But the everyday restaurant obviously can't do that. And so that wasn't what I liked to do. And so I said, I'm going to pivot. I'm going to go after my business degree. And
How old were you?
that time I was 22.
Okay.
I had to think on that. It's been a while. It's been 10 years since I left.
So you went from New York?
So I went from Paris to DC. And then DC moved to LA.
Wow. And you were in Paris working for that
I was working
company that no one's ever heard of, but
no, that was LA.
Wow.
Paris, I was also working as a chef. I worked in a bakery.
Oh.
It was
What year would that have been?
That was 2010.
Okay, I was there just after that.
Okay. Yeah, super well-known bakery. They ship worldwide. Love them. I'll tell you privately who it is.
Cool.
But they do an incredible job. Love it. I still buy their bread once in a while.
Why'd you leave that? Sounds so fun.
That job was never intended for me to stay long-term. That was in between school. I said, hey, let me move to Paris and do something different.
Right.
And so then I moved back to the States and worked for the restaurant group while I went to school. And then essentially said, no, I'm done with this, and moved on.
When did you start doing these reviews?
Reviews publicly was about 3 years ago. It was right after I moved to Charlotte that I made the account public. The way Andrew Loves started was because I had this culinary background, but my day job kept me traveling all over the world. Literally, you name the city, I've been there. I created a spreadsheet, and very type A. Every tab of the spreadsheet was a different city. So I had New York, Paris, LA, Hong Kong, Ho Chi Minh, Chicago. Literally, you name the city, it was on this spreadsheet. And it had the restaurant name, the price point, the address, the cuisine type, what time you needed to order there, or to get there, what you needed to order when you were there. Insane. And so I would share that with my friends, and then friends would say, oh, can you send this to this person? And then that person would say, can you send it to this person? And so I just remember one day I had to send it out over 60 times in a single day. And I was like, I have a day job. I can't keep up with this.
Right.
In retrospect, I should have charged people for it, but, did everyone a solid back then.
That's awesome.
And so when I couldn't keep up with it, I said, let me just create an Instagram where friends and family can go follow it and see, where am I eating? Where do I recommend? What would I get if I went? What can they improve upon, or what did I not like about it? It just started growing, and I kept getting more and more private requests. And so then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make it public.
Well,
and Andrew Loves was born.
Are these restaurants that you're reviewing?
Mm-hmm.
Did they take it and actually take your advice on anything?
Most do. There are a few who haven't. I'd say 95% of restaurants are, oh my gosh, thank you so much. We'll talk to our team. Love this. Love that you like this.
That's awesome.
We'll work on that. A few, of course, they take it negatively. It's their business. It's their livelihood. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side, if you have all these influencers promoting a restaurant, and you go and you have a big group of friends and you spend $300, $400, $500, that's $300, $400, $500. You don't want to waste your money on a disappointing experience.
Absolutely.
Whether it's a dish or the entire experience, it's just, my goal was help navigate where people should go spend their money.
Huh. I like that. So my wife and I, actually today is our 10-year wedding anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Thanks. And every year for anniversary, we do something we've never done together. So like, I'm not talking just sexual either. So we literally will try anything new. And I literally went on your page. That wasn't last anniversary, but it was something like a date night. I was like, what can I try to find right now that's just unique that I haven't thought of? It was so much of that. So it's like, I actually do use your page for that exact thing.
Love it.
So that's pretty funny. 3 years ago, you started Andrew Loves. And is it just Charlotte based? Are people asking you to come places?
So it's mostly Charlotte based. I'll get outreach from places in Charleston sometimes, down in Savannah. I'd say it's 90% Charlotte though. And then of course, if I'm just traveling, I can't miss a content moment. So for instance, I was just in Austin for for 5 days. And so I did content for everywhere that I went when I was there.
Heck yeah. I love Austin.
Such a cool city.
Yeah.
Such a cool city.
If there was an ocean there,
I'd move there in a heartbeat.
I would be there immediately.
Heartbeat.
Wow, that's so fun. So let's talk about the actual like influencer side of this, the business side of what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Do people pay you to walk in, or is it more organic and then they pay you afterwards?
Yeah.
Or is it result based?
Great question.
What are they wanting?
It's a total mixture, to be honest. It started, I'd go into places, I would spend my own money, try everything myself. Of course, as my account grew a following, more and more people would reach out. I'd say not super frequently would I accept collaborations or paid sponsorship in the beginning. Just wanted to keep it very honest. But as I grew and I got more and more requests, it's a very expensive page to run, as you might imagine. And so...
quality content.
Fair. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But essentially, I started to accept some paid partnerships, but I always preface a partnership with, hey, this is my honest opinion, good or bad. That's what you're paying for. So if it's a negative review, it's a negative review. You're paying for me to create this content, and I'll give you my honest feedback, but I want to be very upfront. My opinion is not going to be swayed by the money. I've lost partnerships because of that, and they're like, absolutely not. And I say, thank you, but it's been a pleasure.
Right.
Others embrace it and they say, no, if something isn't good, we want to know why it's not good, how we can fix it. I've had several restaurants do that, and it's worked out well.
What's the most somebody's paid?
$4,000.
Awesome.
Yeah. Now, granted, that was a nice little package. So it was a couple of videos to do for them, but that was a big national partnership that I did.
I love it. That's awesome,
Yeah.
dude. Going forward, where do you think your focus is? I know what some of it.
Yeah.
So we don't need to talk about it yet, or if you want to. But yeah, I mean, what do you think going forward?
I'm an opportunity guy, so I just try to follow where the opportunity takes me. Andrew loves content. It's fun. I get to go to some cool places, and that's not going anywhere. Let me be clear about that. But I do plan to spend more of my time helping small businesses run their own social media accounts. I've had some success growing my own, so it's applying those learnings and kind of how to lean into different trends to get them a larger audience so they can be successful themselves.
Are you going to stick with just food, do you think, or go more towards experiences? Or
probably a mixture. Definitely stay within hospitality. So
that's a great way to put it.
Think food, drink, definitely hotels and activities that relate to that. But hospitality is really my niche, so that's where I plan to focus.
Is there a city you're just wanting somebody to be like, yeah, come do a review in my city?
That's a tough one because I have the travel bug. So
yeah, me too.
I've done LA. I love LA for the food. I wish I was an influencer in LA. It has its nice perks. They have my favorite food, but off the beaten path, probably Portland, Maine. They have some
so random,
but they have some great food up there, especially seafood. One of my favorite restaurants is called Eventide Oyster. They have a location in Boston, but the original is in Portland, Maine. Big oyster guy here, and so they do composed oysters, super fresh oysters, and then they make all of these different flavored granita ices. So they'll do like a cucumber mint one, and in the spring, I want to say there was a plum one. They're always changing it up, but they do a killer job.
What a trip.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite food?
Sushi.
So yeah, I mean,
question.
If somebody doesn't say sushi or if it's something fresh fish, kind of consider. I love meat too, but
100%. But sushi, I eat sushi minimum once a week.
My mother-in-law, we were at the beach all week, and she made us. She went and bought literally 3-hour-old tuna.
Love that.
And made some poke bowls.
Love that.
I was like, I can do this.
Sure, that was
single
easily. I was at Acqua e Vino last night, and they did a
Oh,
special.
nice. I like that
They
place.
did. It's so good.
So little too.
So little, cute. You feel so far away from Charlotte. It's nice and intimate. Love it.
They have the Dover sole there.
That was last night's fish.
Oh, you got that last
So
night?
I didn't do that last night, but I have had it there, and it's very good.
It's so good.
But last night they did a special, which was a red snapper with passion fruit, Fresno chilies, cilantro, and olive oil, and it was insane. It was so good.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Do people ever ask you to do voiceovers for their content?
Not often. I'd say businesses don't ask me that. Personally, people come to me and they say, I want you to do ASMR. I want you to do audiobooks. So I get that a lot. But for businesses, usually it's just, hey, whatever you think we need to do for content, you handle it.
Love it. So excited. I'm very excited for the future of Andrew Loves, and
Me too.
whatever that other exciting thing is, it's going to be public knowledge soon.
Yep.
I'm very excited just to share it and then to watch it be a thing that's needed in Charlotte and I guess in America in general.
For sure.
So appreciate you coming on. Next time when you come back on, we're going to showcase your new business.
Love it.
And I'm really look forward to more reviews. So personally, I need to ask you some places I need to go tonight.
Please do.
Anniversaries. Guys, please follow Andrew Loves. It's a really awesome content page. You don't get, what do you do? A couple posts a week?
Usually 1 to 2 a week.
Yeah, so it's not a crazy amount of postings. It's a really enjoyable page. He's a fun guy too. And if you see him out,
Come say hi.
yeah, come say hi. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.